Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Cardboard Horde. This time, we're bringing you my deck profile for Madolches. Some of you might know these colorful critters as candies and chocolates, but now let's see how they work in a deck.
Delicious.
First off, we have Madolche Mageline, which I have 3 of. Now, Madolche effect, which is a common ability among all the monsters in the main deck, is when this card you control is destroyed by battle or opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, shuffle this card into your deck. Then her own unique effect is when this monster is normal or flip summoned, you can add 1 Madolche monster from your deck to your hand. So she's very good.
3 cards.
Then, Madolche Marmalade. She's more of a defensive one, but Madolche effect. And then, when this card is flipped face up, you can target 1 Madolche spell and trap card in your graveyard and add that target to your hand. So, she gets the nasty things back.
She's got a big butt, right? Like defense points wise, right?
Yeah, very high defense points at 2,000.
2,000, that's pretty good.
Then Madolche Croissant. When this, well, it's actually Madolche effect. Then once per turn, you can target 1 face-up Madolche monster or card you control, except this card, and return it to your hand. If you do, increase this card's level and attack by 1 and then 300. I screwed that up a bit. Then Madolche Chevalier.
Choco Knight, bro. Choco
Yeah,
Knight.
which is Choco Knight in English. Madolche effect. And then your opponent cannot target face-up Madolche monsters for attacks except Madolche Choco Knight. He has 1,700 attack points and protects his friends. Then Madolche Pudding Cess.
Hashtag great card.
Yes. Madolche effect. And then, while you have no monsters in your graveyard, this card gains 800 attack points and defense points. After damage calculation, when this card battles an opponent's monster, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. She's mean. Then, Madolche Messengelato. Madolche effect. I know this is getting old, but just bear with me. When this card is special summoned, you can add 1 Madolche spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. You must control a face-up beast-type Madolche monster to activate and resolve this effect. That's why I told my brother Mew Fuel and Croissant are necessary. Madolche Mew Fuel. It's French cake. Madolche effect. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon 1 Madolche monster from your hand. He said that was useless.
Well, that's good.
Madolche Angeli.
I mean, it'd be better if it's someone from deck, but oh my gosh, then it'd be a broken card.
Yes, it would. Madolche effect. You contribute this card, special summon 1 monster from your deck, 1 Madolche monster from your deck. This is a set-locked set. But shuffle it into the deck during the end phase of your next turn. You can only use this effect in Madolche Angeli once per turn. That special summon monster cannot be destroyed by battle.
So she's really good if you have another one out before you play her, because then you can tribute her and then exceed summon or something with it.
Yep.
That's really good.
Madolche Petting Cessor. Madolche effect. But then, her unique one is, you can only use the following effects. Oh no, she doesn't have Madolche effect. If this card in your possession is destroyed by your opponent's card effect, or card, and sent to the graveyard, Shuffle this card into your deck. You can only use the following effects of Madolche Petting Cessor once per turn. This is a newer one, so it threw me for a loop. If you have no monsters in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then, the second ability is, if this card is special summoned, you can special summon one Madolche monster from your hand or deck except Madolche Petting Cessor. And if you do, reduce its level by 1. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except Madolche monsters. Told you it was locked. Madolche Hoot Cake. Now this one has the Madolche effect.
I'm assuming they all have the Madolche effect.
And then you can target one monster in your graveyard and banish it. If you do, special summon one Madolche monster from your deck except Hoot Cake. You can only use this effect of Hoot Cake once per turn. Madolche Butler Rusk. A rusk is, I think, like a donut.
It's a waffle because he's standing on a waffle.
I think it's a waffle cookie. Madolche effect. And then, when this card is normal summoned, you can add one field spell from the deck to your hand. There must be another face-up Madolche monster on the field to activate and resolve this effect. So he gets the field. So that's why he's good.
Yeah, he's
Madolche Ticket. When a Madolche card or cards is returned from your side of the field or graveyard to your hand or main deck by a card effect, add one Madolche monster from your deck to your hand. If you control a face-up fairy-type Madolche monster, you can special summon the monster from your deck in face-up attack instead of adding it to your hand. You can only use this effect of Madolche Ticket once per turn.
that card is super good.
Yeah, and also the only one I only have one of,
Oh boy.
besides Tiara Masu. Madolche Salon. This is a new addition to my deck. During your main phase, you can normal summon one Madolche monster in addition to your normal summon or set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. If another Madolche card or cards you control or in the graveyard is added to your hand or shuffled into your main deck by a card effect, such as the Fields effect, set one Madolche spell or trap directly from your deck, except Madolche Salon. You can only use this effect of Madolche Salon once per turn.
It's nice. It lets you extra summon and then free setup later. And then, of course,
Madolche Chateau, the field spell. When this card is activated, shuffle all Madolche monsters in your graveyard into the deck. All Madolche monsters on the field gain 500 attack and defense. If a monster or monsters in your graveyard would be returned to the deck by the effect of a Madolche monster, you may add them to the hand instead.
that card's super solid.
Yeah. It also says you don't have to, if you don't want to.
Oh yeah, like cards that give you options.
Madolche Tea-Break. When a spell or trap card is activated, if you have no monsters in your graveyard, that's a common thing in this deck, negate the activation. If you do, return the card to your hand, or to the hand. Then, if you control a face-up Madolche Pudding Cess, you can destroy one face-up card your opponent, or one card your opponent controls. Doesn't have to be face-up. That's meaner than I thought. Madolche Lesson. Target one Madolche monster in your graveyard, shuffle the target into the deck. If you do, all Madolche monsters you currently control gain 800 attack and defense. You can shuffle one other monster from your graveyard into the deck. So that's good for getting monsters back. Madolche Waltz. Each time a Madolche monster you control attacks or is attacked, after damage calculation, inflict 300 damage to your opponent. Extra burn. Spicy cookies. Madolche Knights.
Oh god, that's scary.
When a monster effect is activated, if you have no monsters in your graveyard, see, there's that effect again. Negate the activation. Then, if you control Madolche Pudding Cess, there's that effect again. Shuffle one random card from your opponent's hand into the deck.
So the whole point of the deck is get Pudding Cess out.
Pretty much. Madolche Palooza. Special summon any number of Madolche monsters from your hand, but shuffle them back into the deck during the end phase. This was what you used to Exceed summon. Or kill them. Madolche Promenade. The final of the main deck cards is the new trap card. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls and one Madolche monster you control or in your graveyard. Negate the effects of the opponent's monster, or the opponent's card, and that is until the end of this turn. If you do, return your monster to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Madolche Xyz monster you control, and attach one Madolche monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard to it as a material. You can only use one Madolche Promenade effect per turn, and only once that turn. So that is a pretty tough trap.
Mm-hmm. It's actually really good.
Then, for the extra deck, we have Madolche Queen Tiara Masu, often called Tiramisu, because that's what she's based on. 2 level 4 Madolche monsters. Once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card, then target up to 2 Madolche cards in your graveyard, shuffle those targets or cards into the deck, then shuffle cards from your opponent's side of the field into the deck up to the number of Madolches that you returned. So she's good for ruining stuff.
Man, we gotta get you a couple more copies of that.
They're on the way. Madolche Pudding Cess Chocolate a la Mode. Yeah, you thought she was me before. 2 level 5 Earth monsters. Now, she is the only extra deck Madolche monster that does not specifically require Madolche cards to summon her. You can also Xyz summon this card using a rank 4 or lower. There's nothing lower than 4, not right now. So, hope for the future. Madolche Xyz monster you control as the Xyz material. Xyz materials attached to the previous card are equipped to her. Once per turn, you can target one Madolche card in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck. There's that effect again. While this card has Madolche Pudding Cess as an Xyz material, when a Madolche card or cards in your graveyard is shuffled into the main deck, except during the damage step, you can detach one Xyz material from this card and special summon one Madolche monster from your deck in attack or face down defense position. She is the most powerful attack wise at 2500. Ooh. Sorry, she had micron text.
Yeah, it looked really small from all the way over here.
Madolche Teacher Glass Souffle. That's kind of dangerous sounding.
Eat my glass souffle.
2 level 4 Madolche monsters. Quick effect. You can detach one material from this card, then target one Madolche monster on the field. This turn, that face-up monster is unaffected by monster effects, except its own. If a Madolche card is sent to the graveyard while this card is on the field, except during the damage step, that's a very common effect among many cards, you can shuffle up to 2 cards from the graveyards. That's right, I said graveyards, yours and your opponent's, into the deck or decks if you choose your opponent's. You may only use each effect of Madolche Teacher Glass Souffle once per turn. She has 2,500 defense points, and she can ruin your opponent's day.
If they have a graveyard-based deck.
Yes.
Very good, very good.
Then we have the not needed anymore, but I still have her in here, Madolche Fresh Sistart. She's the link monster for the deck, but thanks to the rule change, she's not necessary anymore, so you can play her for fun. She still does have to go in the extra monster zone.
She's a link monster.
Yep. She needs 2 Madolche monsters. But she is also a fairy type. So she works for So she works for an earlier card in the deck. While this card points to a Madolche monster, Madolche spell and trap cards you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, neither player can target them with card effects. This is where Choco Knight comes in handy. Because he protects her. If this card on the field would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can shuffle 1 Madolche monster from your graveyard into the deck instead. She puts 2 there right away. And that is the end of my deck profile.
So you're telling me she protects your spell and trap cards, and then when she is about to die, she protects herself.
Yes. At very little cost to you.
Why, Konami? It's going to be a very common question in every video.
This has been the Madolche deck profile for the Cardboard Horde. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like, and if you would like to, subscribe.
We'd appreciate it.
Yes, we would very much appreciate that.
And if you want to leave a dislike, that's up to you.
But just know,
You'll break our hearts.
this has been the Cardboard Horde. See you later.